Jana Duggar has kept silent on the topic despite being frequently questioned by her family and the media when she intends to get married. This is even though she has witnessed a number of her siblings get married and establish families. A producer of Jill and Jessa, counting on invited Jana to look back at her life in 5 years. Even though Jana had recently turned 26, she was first reluctant to respond to the question. It's hardly surprising though. By Duggar standards, it's rather uncommon to be 26 years old and single, and since Jana's 2 younger sisters are already married and have kids, everyone is naturally curious about when she will get married. After struggling to think of a suitable answer, Jana finally spoke up about her desire to have children of her own and the social embarrassment she has as a 26-year-old unmarried woman. That's a hard one, she says, citing a recent instance. I have no idea what the next 5 years will bring. I guess you must have goals and desires. I mean, I might find my true love, get married, and have a family. The producer goes on to clarify that although Jana hasn't been married yet, it's not because no guys have tried. It's clear that she feels awkward discussing her future. In the past, there have been other men who have asked, but they weren't the right one, Jana relates. I'm not in it for the first suitor that comes my way. Jana seems to pause after saying that, as though remembering that her sisters, Jill Dillard and Jessa Seewald, did marry the first guys that shown interest in them. I understand, it can be seductive at times. Oh, I really desire to be married, Jana shouts. She mentions how hard it is for her to watch Jill and Jessa spend time with their husbands. Jana says, your married siblings are having families and, just enjoying life, before continuing to describe her current situation. I'm in a weird transitional stage. I'm not the youngest, but I also don't have any children, Jana explains. I'm simply occupied with the path that God has set before me at the moment, accepting and making the most of my current situation, and continuing to learn and grow. There have been many rumors about Jana's love life, or lack thereof. According to one particularly ludicrous rumor, Jana was seeing football player Tim Tebow. In a 2014 interview with People magazine, Jana's father Jim Bob Duggar claimed that although his daughter has attracted the interest of numerous men, she is not yet ready to begin dating. Jana is one of the prettiest girls in the world and one of the sweetest girls, he declared, based on his assessment. Many males have shown interest in her. She still doesn't think the Lord is guiding us in this direction, despite my best efforts. Jana Duggar has always had a type of grace that permeates a room without creating any noise. Her story has been followed by admirers for years. She was portrayed on television, in interviews, and in headlines as the mystery sister, the one who stayed unmarried while her younger siblings got married and started new lives. To be honest, everyone was intrigued by the fact that no one discussed her story at all. But only recently did that fragile silence break, and Jana was able to speak. Leisurely speed, avoiding being defensive at all times. To be honest, I have to say, her openness made her sound more relatable than previously. She opened up about how she didn't feel guilty about being unmarried at her age. No signs of misconduct or punishment were found. She made the deliberate choice to accept life as it was. Love doesn't always come when people want it to, she remarked. Some people experience intense romantic desire even when they are 20 years old, a few at 45. Additionally, for some people, their soulmate appears when they least expect it, frequently after everyone else has moved on. Jana expressed her wish to get married in the future. She aspires to one day meet a partner who understands her feelings and build a home where she can unwind, laugh, and feel comfortable. She said she wanted a partnership, not just a wedding or a ring, but a calm team, someone to be there for her when the crowd thins out and life settles back to its easy rhythm. The term desperation wasn't used. It wasn't depressing. There was a soft longing, the kind that comes when one is confident in who they are and wants a mate who makes them feel better. She was also honest about the times when she thought the pressure from outside was more urgent than the real issue. There were whispers. Comment sections were overflowing. Reporters tried to write her story. However, as Jana noted, reality happens on its own timetable. She's not rushing. This isn't a baby shower, milestone crossing competition, or race to the altar. She has created a path for herself that is marked by faith, tenacity, and the understanding that real happiness takes time. As she discussed her goals for the future, she came across as upbeat, peaceful, and tranquil. She yearns for a life that unfolds quietly but profoundly, for unconditional love, and for adventures that aren't marked by chaos. Instead of choosing a spouse when society forces her to, she would rather choose one when she feels ready. Furthermore, she would rather get married as her whole self than as a half-formed one. She claimed that a marriage might not offer the lesson she has learned from her years of being alone. Resilience is a talent she learned. Acquired boundaries. Achieved the peace that comes from completely understanding and accepting who she is. Since not everyone learns that lesson, a delay that ended up being a benefit gave her the opportunity to do so. Without being forced into responsibility she wasn't prepared for, she has been free to explore, learn, build, and heal. There's also a hint of hardness in her declaration that she wouldn't marry anyone. She wants to make the right choice, so she takes her time. Just right, but not perfect. Someone friendly. A person who is securely planted. A person who loves her religion, respects her independence, and is aware of her own pace. She enjoys reading stories slowly. She's looking for a big one. Jana also mentioned how people often assume that being single equates to loneliness. She continued, however, by saying that her friends, family, nieces, nephews, and personal interests kept her heart full. She regards marriage more as a complement to her already rich life than a means to avoid loneliness. In a society where people assign names, establish timelines, and set expectations so quickly, her candor was a breath of fresh air. It reminded them that waiting isn't failure. Making thoughtful decisions is not a sign of weakness. Being mature also means having a desire for love, but not pursuing it compulsively. Her story serves as an example of the eternal truth that not everyone's life unfolds in the same manner. While some chapters open slowly, others take a long time to write. She has not permitted the idea of her siblings starting families to bother her. She stayed in that position. Currently, she is really loving her season. Additionally, her admirers may see that she is improving in life now that she is sharing her emotions. She knows. She's simply choosing a path that calls for introspection, trust in destiny, and waiting her turn. This type of route often leads to beautiful areas. Jana Duggar's candor was as refreshing as a mountain breeze. Genuine, gentle, and anchored. She did not make any unexpected admissions or revelations. Rather, she provided something more precious. An understanding of the quiet strength of a woman who is confident in her worth and waits patiently for a love that acknowledges it. She continues to go forward in the hopes of finding a husband, a loving family, and a compassionate and understanding existence. She is certain, though, that she will be happy even if it takes longer for her dreams to materialize. She isn't stopping her life for that reason. It's growing, slowly but steadily.